The Wolf Among Us, is it worth a buy, guys? Short answer, yes it is. It's a stylized comic book adventure, similar to The Walking Dead in style, totally different to The Walking Dead in story. The story of this one is you play a guy called Bigby, who's actually the big bad wolf from fairy tales. And the whole thing is a fairy tale kind of story. And every character, like on the screen now, there's me in the background. That's actually Snow White there. And all these people are disguised from their sort of fairy tale looks by a spell called glamour. So they have to fit in with society because they're kind of living in New York. And essentially, you play Bigby, him on the right there, who's actually him there, who's a sheriff. He's looking out for the people, the Fables, making sure they don't get into trouble, making sure that they behave themselves, etc., etc. But there's been a murder. There's a serial killer on the loose, and your job is, through detective work, to find out who it is, and obviously bring them to justice. Now, it's a 5-part series, and episode 1 is out now, and it costs $18.99, which is a good price considering you're getting 5 episodes. It took me about 1 hour 45 minutes to play this, so episode 1 is short. Considering The Walking Dead, I think, took us about 3.5 hours. So not as long as The Walking Dead. It plays exactly the same way. You come into different situations and you get offered multiple choice answers. And you directly influence the way the game goes, and there are multiple ways it could go. You can actually have characters killed that are meant to stay in the game. I mean, you can play it one way and your friend could play it completely the other way just by taking different choices. So you have a lot of control over the game, and I do think as well that it's a bit more in depth than The Walking Dead with your responses. It's also funny. I found myself laughing a lot at it. The only drawback for me is I'm not into fables and fairy tales, so I couldn't take it as seriously as I'd like to. I can't get into it as much as I could with The Walking Dead. Not that I believe in zombies, but I'm not. I mean, I'm into zombies, but I'm not into fairy tales. And I found myself being a bastard to everybody. I still had fun. I mean, I don't get us wrong, I still had fun. The game is a fun game to play, but I think you have to have a bit of a liking of fables and fairy tales to really, really appreciate what this game has to offer. It looks great and it sounds great. Great voice acting, top draw voice acting. But I think the biggest thing that's come into this game that The Walking Dead was lacking a bit of it is the fight scenes. You have a few fights in this game, and the fighting is absolutely insane. It is better than The Walking Dead. The fight scenes last a bit longer. You tend to get more options. There's a more interaction, whereas in The Walking Dead you kind of felt as if it was just, panning out. Whereas on this, it's so much better.
Watch me kill you, and it'll be
The game is extremely violent, and it has strong language in from the off. Really, it's not for the young people. It's a mature content. So is it worth a buy? Well, as I said at the beginning, yes it is. I mean, even if you're not into fables, it's worth a buy because it's a good story and it's the whole comic book thing. It's a different style of gaming, and if you like The Walking Dead, you're gonna like this. It's as simple as that. And $18.99 for 5 episodes, it's a good deal, whichever way you look at it. So I have to give this my total and utter endorsement. Even if you're not into fairy tales, worth picking up. A great price and a great game.